The studio lights blazed down on the set of the Kelly Clarkson Show, casting a golden glow over the buzzing audience. Kelly, all southern charm and effortless poise, leaned forward in her plush chair, her smile bright and practiced. Across from her sat Snoop Dogg, cool and composed, his lanky frame wrapped in a sleek black suit with gold chains catching the light. The crowd erupted as the cameras rolled, their cheers blending with the hum of anticipation that filled the air. Snoop nodded to the audience, his trademark swagger on full display, braids swaying slightly as he adjusted his sunglasses. Kelly's voice was warm, though her eyes carried a flicker of curiosity and mischief. "So Snoop, you're out here dropping new music, producing films, and even coaching on The Voice. How do you keep up with all this hustle?" she asked, her tone playful but edged with intent. Snoop leaned back casually, one arm draped over the chair, his voice smooth and steady. "You know, Kelly, it's all about the vibe. I just flow where the universe takes me. Music, movies, mentoring, it's all part of the Snoop Dogg experience. Ain't no stress when you're doing what you love." The audience clapped, a few cheers rising from the back rows. Kelly smiled, but it tightened just slightly at the corners. "Right, the vibe," she echoed. Tilting her head, she continued, "But let's talk about that new album. Some folks are saying it's a bit of a departure from the classic Snoop sound. Maybe you're chasing trends instead of setting them. What's your take on that?" The question landed like a soft punch, subtle but intentional. Snoop's grin stayed fixed, though a faint glint flashed behind his shades. "Chasing trends?" he repeated, his tone still calm but carrying weight. "Nah, Kelly, I don't chase, I create. Been doing this since '92, dropping heat that sets the standard. If people think I'm switching up, maybe they ain't listening close enough." The crowd murmured, a ripple of mixed reactions washing through the studio. Kelly leaned in, hands clasped, her voice still light but probing. "I hear you, but you know how fans are. They love that doggy-style era, that raw West Coast sound. Some of them feel like your new stuff with all the pop collabs and electronic beats is, well, less you. Are they wrong to miss that?" Snoop chuckled, but the sound was low, almost a growl. "Fans gon' feel how they feel, and I respect that. But I ain't a museum piece, Kelly, I evolve. I ain't trying to remake Doggy Style every year. That album's a classic, no doubt. But I'm living in the now, not the '90s. You gotta grow or you get left behind." Applause followed, though this time it carried a tinge of tension. Kelly's brow lifted, her tone sharpening ever so slightly. "Fair, but isn't there a risk of alienating the fans who got you here? You're an icon, Snoop. People expect a certain authenticity. Some of these new tracks, they sound like they could be anybody's. Don't you ever worry about losing that Snoop edge?" For the first time, Snoop's relaxed demeanor faltered. He shifted in his seat, fingers drumming the armrest. "Authenticity?" he echoed, his voice lower now, deliberate. "Kelly, I've been authentic since I was rapping in Long Beach with nothing but a dream and a mic. You think I ain't real just because I'm trying new sounds? That's the game. You either innovate or you stagnate. Which one you think I'm doing?" The audience reacted instantly, a mix of gasps and cheers filling the space. Kelly's smile wavered, but she recovered quickly, leaning back with a laugh that didn't quite reach her eyes. "Oh, I know you're innovating, Snoop. I'm just asking what the fans are asking. You know how it is, everyone's got opinions. Speaking of, let's talk about your collabs. You've been working with some huge pop stars lately. Any chance we'll see you on a track with me?" she teased, winking at the audience in an attempt to lighten the mood. Snoop smirked, though it wasn't his usual playful grin. "You trying to get in the booth with the dog, Kelly? Gotta warn you, I bring the fire. You sure you're ready for that?" The audience laughed, but the tension still lingered beneath the humor. Kelly tilted her head, her voice dropping slightly, playful but pointed. "Oh, I'm ready, Snoop. The question is, are you ready to keep up with me? Or are you too busy chasing those new vibes to handle a real challenge?" The crowd oohed, the energy in the room shifting again. Snoop's smirk faded. He leaned forward, the reflection of the studio lights dancing in his shades as his tone deepened. "Careful, Kelly," he said slowly, each word measured. "You talking like you know my game better than me. I've been in this longer than you've been singing." The audience fell into a hush. The air between them crackled, not with banter but with something sharper, heavier. What had begun as friendly talk now teetered on the edge of confrontation. "Let's keep it real," Snoop said, his tone low but loaded. The air in the studio thickened instantly, the audience holding its breath as the playful banter evaporated. Kelly's smile was gone now, replaced by something sharper, calculated. "I'm keeping it real, Snoop," she replied, her voice steady yet edged with defiance. I'm just asking the questions people want answers to. You say you're evolving, but some folks think you're selling out. So tell me, where's the line? How do you know when you've gone too far? Snoop's jaw tightened, his silence stretching heavy across the stage. The camera zoomed in, catching every flicker of tension between them. Finally, he leaned back, his voice cutting through the stillness. Selling out? That's what you think this is, Kelly? I ain't never sold out a day in my life. I make music for me, for my people, for the culture. You want to talk about lines? Then tell me why you think you can sit there and judge my whole career in 5 minutes? The audience gasped, a wave of murmurs sweeping through the crowd. Kelly's face flushed, but she didn't back down. I'm not judging, Snoop, she fired back, her voice rising. I'm hosting. It's my job to ask the hard questions. If you can't handle them, maybe this isn't the place for you. Snoop's eyes flashed, and without another word, he stood up. The scrape of his chair echoed like a gunshot in the stunned silence. Maybe it ain't, he said coldly. Straightening his jacket, he glanced briefly at the audience, half cheering, half booing, and started walking off the set. Wait, Snoop. Come on, we're just talking. Kelly called after him, but he didn't turn back. His long strides carried him toward the stage exit as the cameras scrambled to follow. The door swung shut behind him, and for a beat the entire studio froze. Then the room erupted, gasps, whispers, and nervous laughter filling the air. Kelly sat motionless for a moment, her face caught between disbelief and defiance. The cameras were still rolling. Crew members darted across the stage, trying to contain the chaos. Kelly inhaled deeply, forcing composure as she turned to the audience. All right, y'all, she said, her voice steady but her smile strained. Let's take a quick breather. We're going to get Snoop back out here because we're not done talking. This is the Kelly Clarkson Show, and we keep it real, right? The audience clapped, some hesitant, others enthusiastic, but still reeling from what they just witnessed. Offstage, a producer gestured wildly for direction. Kelly glanced in that direction briefly, then faced the camera again. Let's give it up for Snoop Dogg, y'all, she said. He's a legend, and we're going to work this out. Meanwhile, in the dim backstage hallway, Snoop paced with his sunglasses off, his eyes narrowed in frustration. A production assistant lingered nearby, uncertain whether to approach. His longtime friend and manager Ted stepped forward, resting a hand on Snoop's shoulder. Yo, Snoop, you good? What's the move here? He asked quietly. Snoop exhaled sharply, still fuming. Man, she came at me like I'm some rookie. Talking about selling out? I ain't here for that. I came to promote the album, not get grilled like I'm on trial. Ted nodded, understanding but firm. I hear you, but walking off ain't the look, man. You know how this plays out. They'll spin it like you're the bad guy. Go back out there. Set the record straight. Snoop ran a hand over his braids, his frustration simmering. She want to play hardball, I can play hardball. But I ain't sitting there taking shots for no reason. She gotta respect the game. Back on set, the band played a short instrumental to fill the awkward silence. Kelly leaned forward, addressing the audience more softly now. Look, y'all, Snoop's a legend. I respect him so much. Sometimes these conversations get heated, because we're passionate about music, about art. I'm hoping he'll come back out so we can keep this going. What do y'all think? Should we bring him back? The crowd roared their approval, chanting his name. After a tense minute, the stage door opened and Snoop stepped back into the light, his sunglasses on again, his expression composed but guarded. The audience exploded into applause, some rising to their feet as he returned to his chair. Kelly stood too, extending a cautious but sincere hand. Snoop, thank you for coming back. Let's do this right. Snoop shook her hand, his grip firm, his tone calm but unmistakably pointed. I'm back, Kelly. But let's get one thing straight, I ain't here for no drama. You got questions? Ask 'em. But don't come at me sideways. Kelly nodded, her expression softening. Fair enough. I didn't mean to come at you sideways. I'm a fan, Snoop. I grew up listening to your music. But as a host, I've got to ask what the people are talking about. So let's reset. Talk to me about this album. What's driving it? What's the heart of it? Snoop leaned forward, his voice measured but full of conviction. The heart? It's me, Kelly. It's my life, my experiences, my growth. I'm 50 years old, man. I ain't that kid from Long Beach anymore, but I'm still real. This album's about where I'm at now, working with new artists, trying new sounds, but still keeping it Snoop. You want to know the heart? It's freedom. Freedom to do me, no matter what anybody thinks. The audience clapped, this time with genuine admiration. The tension in the room eased, replaced by respect. Kelly nodded, her smile finally reaching her eyes. "I respect that," she said softly. And for the first time that day, the energy on set felt whole again. Freedom's a big word, but Kelly leaned in with a knowing smile. "Let's dig into that," she said. "You're working with these younger artists, bringing them into your world. Is that about passing the torch, or are you learning from them too?" Snoop's grin returned, warmer this time, his tone smooth and reflective. "It's both, Kelly. I'm dropping game on these young cats, showing them how to move in this industry. But they got fire too. They push me, keep me sharp. They got the energy, I got the wisdom. Together we make magic." Kelly smiled, sensing the shift in energy. "That's beautiful," she said. "So who's been the biggest influence on this new album? Any surprises we should know about?" Snoop chuckled, the tension easing from his shoulders. "You trying to get the scoop, huh?" he teased. "Aight, I'll give you one. There's this one track with a young producer, kid named Jackson. He's 19, straight out of Atlanta. Brought me this beat that hit like a freight train. I said, yo, this kid's got it. That track's one of my favorites." The audience cheered as Kelly's eyes lit up. "Okay, that's exciting," she said. "But let's talk about the flip side. Some of these collabs, especially with pop artists, have people divided. They love you, but they're like, Snoop doing pop? What's that about? How do you respond to that?" Snoop's grin faded, his voice steady but edged with conviction. "I respond by saying, I'm Snoop Dogg, I don't live in a box. I did reggae. I did gospel. I did gangster rap.
Why? 'Cause I can.
If I want to do a pop joint, I'ma do it and I'ma make it dope. People don't like it? Cool, but don't tell me I can't try it." Kelly nodded, but her next question came fast, almost too quick. "But Snoop," she pressed, "isn't there a point where you're spreading yourself too thin? Gospel, pop, rap, coaching, acting. Are you Snoop Dogg the artist or Snoop Dogg the brand?" The question landed hard. The room went silent. Snoop's eyes locked on hers, his voice dropping low, deliberate. "You really want to go there, Kelly? You calling me a brand like I'm some product on a shelf? I'm an artist. Always have been. Everything I do comes from the same place, my soul." He paused, then added with a smirk. "You want to talk about spreading thin? How about you, singing, hosting, coaching on The Voice? You an artist or a brand?" The crowd gasped, a ripple of nervous laughter filling the air. Kelly's smile tightened. Her voice was sharp but steady. "Fair point, Snoop," she said. "But I'm asking because your fans care. They want the real you, not a version chasing every opportunity. So tell me, what's the real Snoop Dogg right now?" Snoop leaned forward, his tone rising with each word. "The real Snoop Dogg is sitting right here, Kelly. I'm the same cat who came up in '92, just with more scars, more stories, more game. You want to know what's real? This is real. Me not letting nobody put me in a box. Not even you." The audience erupted, some cheering, others whispering as the tension peaked. Kelly opened her mouth to respond, but Snoop wasn't finished. He rose to his feet, his voice booming over the noise. "You want real? I'll give you real. But I ain't here to be dissected like I owe everybody an explanation. I'm Snoop Dogg. That's enough." He turned and started toward the stage exit as the crowd roared. Kelly called after him, her voice tight and strained. "Snoop, wait, we're not done." But his steps didn't slow. The cameras tracked his every move, gold chains catching the studio lights as chaos erupted behind him. Cheers, gasps, and the hum of a live audience witnessing a moment that would soon become television history. Snoop's face was set, hard but resolute, as he made his way toward the exit. Kelly Clarkson stood frozen for a moment, her expression torn between frustration and determination. Then with a surge of resolve, she leapt to her feet, her voice cutting through the noise. "Snoop, hold up. Let's talk this out," she shouted, her Texas drawl edged with urgency. Snoop paused at the edge of the stage, his hand resting on the door. The crowd hushed instantly, the tension thick enough to feel. Slowly he turned. His sunglasses hid his eyes, but his posture said everything, rigid, guarded, unyielding. He walked back to the center of the set as the audience erupted in nervous applause. But he didn't sit. Standing tall, his voice low and measured, he said, "You want to talk, Kelly? Talk, but don't come at me like I'm on trial. I came here to share my music, not defend my life." Kelly's expression softened, though her eyes still burned with purpose. She stepped closer, the camera zooming in on the crackling tension between them. I'm not trying to put you on trial, Snoop, she said firmly, her voice steady but sincere. I'm doing my job asking what people want to know. You're a legend. But legends get questioned too. Your fans are wondering if you're still the same Snoop they love. That's all I'm getting at. Snoop tilted his head slightly, his tone cool but cutting. My fans know me. They know my heart. You're the one acting like I gotta prove something. I don't prove myself to nobody. I'm here, still standing, still creating. That's the proof. The audience roared, some chanting his name while others clapped for Kelly's nerve. Kelly held her ground, hands on her hips. I get it, Snoop, you don't owe anyone anything. But when you're out here doing pop collabs, gospel, coaching, everything, it's a lot. People wonder what's driving it. Is it the art or is it the hustle? That's the question. Snoop's jaw tightened as he stepped closer, his voice dropping to a controlled whisper. You keep pushing this hustle angle, Kelly, let me school you. Every move I make is art. The collabs, the shows, the music, it's all me expressing who I am. You think I'm out here for a check? I've been getting checks since Doggy Style. This ain't about money. It's about legacy. The crowd erupted again, their energy electric. Kelly's eyes flickered with a mix of challenge and admiration. Legacy, she repeated, nodding slowly. That's a big word, Snoop. But legacy means staying true to your roots. Your fans hear these new tracks and some of them feel like you're drifting. Not all, but some. Are they wrong to feel that way? Snoop let out a low, sharp laugh. They ain't wrong to feel what they feel, but I ain't drifting. I'm exploring. You think I'm gonna rap the same bars for 30 years? Nah, Kelly, I'm a storyteller. My story's bigger than one sound, one vibe. You wanna talk roots? My roots are in pushing boundaries, not sitting still. Kelly crossed her arms, her voice softer now, almost pleading. I hear you, I really do. But when you push boundaries, you risk losing people. I'm a fan, Snoop, I'm asking because I care. Where's the line between evolving and losing what made you you? Snoop's stance stiffened, his voice rising, commanding the room. The line? There ain't no line. I'm Snoop Dogg. What made me is me, my heart, my soul, my grind. You think a pop track or a TV show changes that? You don't know me, Kelly. And if you don't get that, maybe this ain't my stage. The crowd gasped, torn between awe and disbelief, as Snoop turned sharply and started for the exit again. Kelly's voice cracked through the noise, desperate but composed. Snoop, don't do this. This is your stage as much as mine. Let's finish this right. He stopped with his hand on the door, turning just enough for the light to catch the edge of his glasses. His voice was cold, final. Finish it? Ain't nothing to finish when you don't respect the game. With that, he pushed through the door. The slam echoed through the silent studio before the audience broke into a chaotic mix of cheers, gasps, and murmurs. Kelly stood alone under the hot lights, her chest rising and falling, her eyes scanning the restless crowd. She forced a shaky smile and turned to the camera. Well, folks, that's live TV, she said with a strained laugh. Snoop Dogg, everybody, let's give him some love. The audience clapped, but the air was heavy, raw, unresolved. Kelly sat back down, her hands trembling slightly as she steadied herself. Leaning toward the lens, she added with a practiced composure, We're gonna keep it moving, but I want to hear from y'all. Hit that subscribe button and drop a comment below. Tell me, who do you think held their ground in this one? Let's talk about it.